And welcome back to more Pokemon Shield and Sword news, which I haven't really talked about since the last time they revealed some things. But we got a lot of new Pokemon today, new mechanics, new just a whole bunch of new things. And I am going to talk a little bit about this whole National Dex controversy near the end of the video. First, let's just talk about we got some new Pokemon. Yamper was already revealed along with Impidimp, but Impidimp is not officially revealed yet. It's a cute little electric corgi, which is awesome. We have Amacream, which is the cream Pokemon, which basically is literally a walking dessert. But where Vanillux and all those guys kind of failed, this one seems to work. This one seems to make more sense than something like the ice cream Pokemon or even like Slurpuff. It does seem to make a bit more sense to me than that, and so I like that one as well. I was also a fan of the Dragon Steel one. Is cool. I'll say that. I can tell it's the final evolution in that line. So whatever its pre-evolutions will be, we'll get a load of those. Unless it is a standalone Pokemon, in which case it's not the pseudo-legendary of the region, which is very interesting. And then we get, what was it, Rockacola? Or Rocky, what was it exactly? Hold on. Rocky, because it's a coal Pokemon, is the thing. It's a rock type. And I think it's adorable looking, honestly. Let me just get the name up here real quick. Rockacola? Give me a second here. New Pokemon page. There we go. New Pokemon. There we go. So, Roly-Cola. Roly-Coly. There we go. Roly-Coly. It's Roly-Coly-Oly. He's small and black and hot. Now, I can tell you right now, this thing's probably going to evolve final form-wise into a fire rock type. It's based off coal. It's got a flaming red eye. Coal is notorious for keeping things warm and being, lasting a while for fire. So I do believe it's going to be a fire rock type. I also think just the way we see it, like in the image they have here, it's got like these two little extra coal bits on it. I think we're going to see those become like limbs in its further evolutions. I do think this is like a 3-stage evolution Pokemon. So I look forward to seeing exactly how they're going to portray that. There is also a secret other Pokemon that was revealed. People are saying it's probably it looks like a teapot or an elephant or a teapot elephant. We will see what happens with those. But then we get like the reveal of some new characters like the chairman. The chairman mouse? Chairman Rose and his assistant Olina. And I've heard someone say it, and looking at him like, wow, it's just they're not hiding it very well. This guy's probably the leader of the evil team. I had a great theory that maybe the champion might have actually been the leader of the evil team, that he was just being played up for that, and he's actually, that way he never gets defeated. But I like it. It seems more likely that these guys are part of the whatever the evil team is. The rumor that we'll touch upon a little bit, but dealing with the whole Gigantamax implies that name is Team Yell. But what if it's like a crooked Pokemon league basically, and he wants to keep this guy champion, or it's like wrestling. It's like, all right, you're gonna win this many times, and then you'll lose, and we'll get a new champion. It's gonna be awesome. I like that idea. We get new gym leaders, and this is one of the first version exclusive things they actually showed us is that version exclusive wise, you actually can in the desert like area. If the gym is actually dependent on the gym leader is actually dependent on what version you have. If it's Shield, it's a ghost leader known as Alistair, and then it's Bea, who is the fighting type gym leader in that area. If you have Shield, now I still don't know which version I'm going to get. When I first saw them, the legendaries, because that's usually how I base my opinion, like the aesthetic of the legendary. And not that I usually use the legendary, I just think the aesthetic is always a cool little. It's like, all right, that's cool. I was leaning towards Shield, but honestly, Sword's kind of grown on me a little bit. And honestly, Sword would probably I'd probably be leaning towards Sword if he just didn't have that sword in his mouth. All you gotta do is maybe put a sword on top of his head. There you go, you're good. Or on his tail or something. I don't know. So there's that as well. And then, of course, they introduced the Gigantamaxing, which has been spoiled a while ago, or at least in a rumor, by certain people implying that this is going to be a real thing. Essentially, after you Dynamax, you can also Gigantamax. You can only do it certain specimens of certain Pokemon, but you can Gigantamax. So far, Alcremie, Dreadnought, and Corviknight all have Gigantamax forms, where Alcremie turns into a giant cake. Dreadnought turns basically into a giant turtle, kind of like a Blastoise style, but he stands on his hind legs. And Corviknight just turns into a bigger bird. Corviknight's honestly is the least impressive. It's still cool looking, but least impressive. But one of the cool things about Gigantamaxing is if that rumor is true, first off, we're going to get a new, like a evolution for Farfetch. But if that rumor is true, then Tyranitar, Hydreigon, Flygon, Charizard, and Mothra. I don't know where Charizard and Hydreigon are really falling, or Flygon are really falling in this, but they're all going to have Gigantamax forms based off Godzilla. So Tyranitar would be a Godzilla-inspired one. Volcarona would be Mothra. Hydreigon would be Ghidorah. Now, here's the thing. Flygon, yeah, it makes sense. Or Flygon or Charizard, one of them would be Rodan. I get that, but the rumor implies that they're both going to get one based off Godzilla. What other one am I missing there with Godzilla that would fit those guys? Like an important main Godzilla. Like, hell, if you want me to get even more, in depth on the Godzilla nerd history, Muk could be Hedorah. Jet Jaga could be based off Bisharp could turn into Jet Jaga. Hell, a Gigantamax, the new I think it's like Duragon or something like that, the new Dragon Steel type into Mechagodzilla. Why not? Actually, that would. It just occurred to me that because in the Pokedex entry they say they fight a lot with Tyranitar for dominance in the mountains of Galar. Mechagodzilla versus Godzilla. Oh my god! I hope to God this is real. I hope to God it is real. Where else am I going? Oh my god! Who the hell could Destroya be? I'm just trying to think right off the top of my head, like something that looks and is akin to Destroya. Destroya is a very unique design. I mean, it's still like a bipedal kind of dragon dinosaur looking thing, but it's actually more crustacean than anything else. So I'm trying to think, what would be the best representation for Destroya? You Godzilla fans out there, let me know what you think the best Pokemon representation for Destroya would be, and then if you were to Gigantamax that, take on a more Destroya-looking form. I'd like to know which one, what you'd throw out there. Biollante. I'm trying to maybe Carnivine. It'd have to be something that's a bit crocodile or a bit reptilian and bit plant at the same time. Carnivine maybe. Carnivine actually seems like the best choice, but I could be way off. And then of course because luckily we got now Grookey. Grookey, you could Gigantamax. That's another thing. I'm wondering if the starters are going to have Gigantamax, not just because you can Dynamax any Pokemon, but Gigantamax forms. I wonder if that's going to be the thing because last gen was the Z moves, and they all had their own specific Z move to them. Now, granted, they didn't Mega Evolve like the Kalos starters or any of the other starters really at all, except for the Hoenn starters and obviously the Kanto starters. But I'm wondering if that's going to be a thing that each of the stars will have a Gigantamax form. Clearly, Grookey would be in a King Kong inspired if they do in fact have Godzilla inspired guys. Of course, then again, it's really just a giant ape at that point. The rabbit one, and that's assuming his final form is in fact a gorilla, which I have to believe it will be. The problem is I have no idea what the final versions. We have no idea what the final evolutions of the starters are right now, so I have no idea. I have a feeling though because we're already in July. And it's like month by month basis we're getting this information. If we don't get anything else this month, even though we do have Comic-Con. I don't know if they reveal anything there. Probably not. By August, we're probably going to have our second forms of the starters. And I think they're doing actually a really good job at revealing things. I mean, here's the thing for the new Pokemon. I have no idea how many new Pokemon we're getting, but we're at least getting the 9 stars plus the legendaries. So that's 11 right there. You need to have at least some type representation throughout the new Pokemon you get. So in terms of the types we have right now, and I don't factor in the starters for this, or honestly the legendaries, because they still kind of don't count towards this. But we'll lose a normal type, so that's one normal type at least. We have at least one grass type in Glossifer. We have at least one water and rock type with Dreadnought. We have another rock type with Roly-Coly. We have a flying and we have a steel type with Corviknight, and obviously more later on. Yamper's our electric type. We have a fairy and a dark type with Impidimp. And then we have a dragon type with Duraludon. So that's Duraludon. So that's 8 of the required types we have here. Of the 18 types we have overall, which means there's still and plus we have the unknown squirrel Pokemon and the unknown Pokemon that was shown that was released by Chairman Rose. So we have at least at minimum 10 other Pokemon, probably some of them probably having evolutions. So that's going to be fun. That's for me always always the best things about the new Pokemon games. I think that is for a lot of people. It's just the new Pokemon. And I will actually say this. I have grown to actually kind of like the roaming Pokemon idea because, A, they've made it the best of both worlds. They're not just roaming Pokemon. It's random encounters as well. It's mixed and match. But in my first playthrough of every new generation, I always like to make a team of the new Pokemon because we got these new Pokemon. That's awesome. I want to make a new Pokemon team. But now when I want to actually make a specific team, or at least look for some specific Pokemon in the future to put on my team, now I'll have that option as well, and it'll make it a lot easier to look for stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of digging this. So, I mean, overall, I loved what we saw today. Now, like I said, to end this video off, I'm just going to address this whole hashtag bring back the National Dex crap. Now, as someone who's plays Pokemon casually, and as someone who really doesn't usually go out of his way to try to catch them all, or, when there's a specific Pokemon that I can't necessarily get, like I always loved like Beldum and Volcarona or Larvesta, or in like Noivern or Noibat, which we know Noibat's in this game, and I've never actually had one near the beginning of the game. I would like to try to have one of those guys at the beginning of the game. I think that'd be really cool. But sometimes you can't do that, and that's fine. Hell, with my Ruby and Sapphire game, I just traded between my X and Y, or just my X. I know I have Y. Sorry, my Y and my Ruby and Sapphire. Then traded back. So I'm like, okay, got it back now. Yeah, I don't use like the Pokebank or anything like that. I just don't. I don't really care that much. That's the thing. Whenever I play the game, or like whenever I start a new game, I don't care about saving old Pokemon. I'm like, all right, this was fun. Time to start a new game. Time to start a new adventure. I don't really care to, save those old Pokemon from all those old games. And you know what? I bet you there's still people who have some of their literal Gen 1 red and blue Pokemon that they've continually traded over and over and over again from other games. I bet you they have. I bet you there's still a few out there. But on to the subject at hand. So for me, the fact that I said there's 500 Pokemon in this giant region, but we can't do all 800 over 800 Pokemon now that we're gonna have, possibly going on to 900 by this gen, because it's just gonna be too much for the system with everything we're doing. And now that we're seeing everything they're doing, yeah, it makes sense why they can't do that. It actually does make sense because I think even for the Switch, this would be really taxing on the system to some degree. And the Switch is a power. You want to talk about 3DS being pushed to the limits with Sun and Moon, but obviously, clearly, Shield and Sword are kicking the crap out of Shield or Sun and Moon in terms of quality and everything along those lines. But there's still limitations built into the machine. Now, take that out of the equation. I can understand someone being upset the National Dex isn't going to be around. I understand that completely. But this whole hashtag bring back the National Dex, or, let us know all don't tell us the new Pokemon, just let us know every Pokemon that's going to be in these games before they come out. Because you owe it to the fans, essentially. You owe it to us to let us know. And even like and I'm not going to call his name, like a Poke YouTuber I really like to watch, said, I like this idea. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And I'm going to upset a lot of people here right now. I know. Any fan I have that likes Pokemon who's, upset about the National Dex thing, I'm probably going to upset you a little bit. Any person who just is upset about it and clicks on this video, you're probably not going to be having my opinion on this. you're not entitled to anything when it comes to these games. Nintendo's not making these games because you're entitled to them. No. We get these games. They continue to make these games. You know what would happen if everyone just boycotted Pokemon Sword and Shield? We probably would not have any more Pokemon games. Or at least not the games you'd want to be getting. They don't have to be making these games. They don't have to continue making Pokemon games. Now go be wrong. They'd be taking a huge hit if they stopped making them. But you know what? Nintendo and Game Freak are big enough that they can survive if they stopped making Pokemon games. I'm still waiting for Pokemon Snap too, but you know what? That's never going to happen, probably. I loved Pokemon Snap. I don't care what anyone says. I loved Pokemon Snap. It's so basic, yet so entertaining. But yeah, I'm sorry. No. As consumers, we are not entitled to anything. Now, that being said, you have a right to be upset that you're like maybe one of your favorite Pokemon's not going to be in the game because they just couldn't do it. And you're going to say, it's not that they couldn't, they won't. It's like, do you know them personally? Well, no. Did they tell you that's the case? No, then you don't know. Sorry, you don't know that they couldn't do it. Or wouldn't do it. You just don't know. And it's unfortunately speaking a lot to us, and speaking to a lot to the times now, where as fans of something, we feel we are entitled to something when really we're not. We're just fans with a love of the product, and it starts to really say, like, I don't think people are going to be giving like legitimate death threats or anything like that, but they have been angry with them, and they're saying to it, it's like, okay, look, guys, I know you're upset, but calm down. It is just a game, after all. Is it going to suck that one of your favorite Pokemon's not there? Yeah, it's going to suck. But you know what? Next game, you can have your favorite Pokemon back in. It's not the end of the world. Come on. I mean, seriously. Grow up. Yes, this is weird to say for, probably semi-adult to adult, to like teenage, Pokemon fans who are going to be getting the game. But grow up a little bit. Come here. Come on. Just grow up a little bit. Because, again, you're not entitled to anything. Unless someone actually legitimately owes you money, which you are then entitled to. Unless someone actually legitimately owes you something. You work your job. You get paid every week. Paycheck doesn't come in at one point, which actually did happen to me at one point. You were entitled to that money. You worked for that money. You earned that money. When it comes to a game, a movie, anything, you're not entitled to squat. And I'm censoring that because I know I'll get flagged. This video might get flagged anyway just because it's YouTube and their algorithm's messed up lately. But you're not entitled to jack. You're not. So, I'm sorry if it upsets you. I can get why you'd be at least a little miffed or upset, but not entitled to anything. Sorry. So, for me, the national decks being taken out, basically not existing, really doesn't bother me at all. If anything, I like the fact that if I want to catch everything in the region, I don't have to, go and just try to catch everything or try to transfer everything. I like the fact that it is limited down a bit. It reminds me a bit more of the Kalos decks, I'm going to be honest. Let's be clear. The Kalos decks, ultimately when the National came in, you could transfer things from other games, obviously. But the Kalos decks as a whole was big, and this is clearly bigger than even the Kalos decks, but it was still relatively, it seemed manageable, ultimately. But, so look, if you're upset about it, you're entitled to be upset about it, but just, don't go, for instance, don't be one of those people who's like, I'm going to boycott it, so, I'm not going to get this game because this and this and this and this. Like, well, then you're denying the chance that this could be still a really fun game just because one or two of your favorite Pokemon aren't in there. And that's dumb. So, you can boycott it, and I doubt it will do much. I'm certain the sales will still be fine. But hey, that's you. If you're going to not get again just because a handful of Pokemon you want to be in the game aren't going to be in the game, and you won't be able to get them or transfer them over like that, sorry, man. That's your deal. For me, that's dumb. I'm not gonna not get a game just because something I want is not in there. For instance, between the two, I like Vulpix over Growlithe. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of people like Arcanine more than Ninetales. Or, well, I know it's pretty even. They got their fans. But I like one over the other. So I like one of the Pokemon over the other. But if the game I have doesn't have access to that Pokemon, it's not the end of the world for me. It's just, what, it's whatever. I can't get that Pokemon. Oh well. I'm trying to think of a prime example of that, if I'm going to be honest. You know what? Black and White is a perfect example of that because there's version exclusive Pokemon in that game that you cannot. For instance, I got Black, which I believe it had Wargle and I believe that's his name. Basically, the eagle Pokemon, the bald eagle Pokemon. I'm like, okay, that had that. But if I went with White and got with the Buzzard Pokemon, I just wouldn't have tried to get the Buzzard Pokemon. I'm just okay, fine. I'm not a big fan of that design anyway. Yeah, Gen 5 had some weird designs, but ultimately, yeah, for me, it's not really that big a deal. So I just felt I should address that because I've been seeing this now for a few weeks, and people are like, "Really? We're getting this upset over this? My God, how entitled have we become?" I digress. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for Woodwind, Star Wars, Super Magic, what if anything to do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll do a review at some point. My shirt's got a hole. That's why I've been kind of trying to cover it up. Really, this is just the shirt I wore underneath my work shirt, so I didn't make that completely unwearable. Until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Tomorrow I'm just gonna pre-record my videos for Wednesday, obviously, like I normally do. But tomorrow there will be at least a Lantern Core video, so just keep your eyes out for those. Thanks for watching.